Hey Flosstube, it's Kerry in Stitches. It's Thursday the 12th of October and welcome to video number 3. It's looking pretty nice out. It's quite autumnal here now, but still quite warm, so it's quite pleasant to be out and about. I'll be out later to take my daughter to collect her medal for completing her summer reading challenge, so she's very excited about that today. So let's get straight into what we've got to talk about. I'm looking at my notes here. I've got to find the right setup still. I've been overwhelmed by the number of subscribers and comments and support generally. It's been really quite overwhelming. I said it twice. So thank you to all those who have watched, subscribed and have come back hopefully a third time. It's great to have you with me, and I am hoping you're enjoying my videos. I have my coffee. Actually, I had 2 cups of coffee today. I am channeling you, Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, who decided she was going to have a long video, so I had 2 cups of coffee. So I'm all set with my 2 cups. I have my friend's mug. My friend Steph brought me a couple of Christmases ago. I have about 4 mugs I rotate through, grab out of the cupboard when it's clean. And I put my other one in my travel mug to keep it warm, so that was my plan. So onwards with the whip report. So since I spoke to you last, I've been working on 4 projects. Hang on, let's work this out. I've worked on 5 projects because I have 2 FOs as well. More like an FO. Right, so this week I am working on I think I showed you this in my first video. This is my month's calendar sampler thingy. The designs are free designs from a Hungarian blogger called Palko. I'll link her below. So that's the whole piece. And I stitched August this week. It's been one of those weeks where I just haven't had stitchy time, and I'm not going out in an evening kind of person, so I tend to have, once the children are in bed, evenings are mine. So I thought, I'm going to get loads done this week. So Monday I had a PTA meeting at the school, which only lasted an hour, so I was back from the meeting before I would normally sit down to stitch, so I was fantastic. I thought, great, I'm going to get loads done. So I got about, I don't want to see the back of it. Maybe you do want to see the back. I've lost my magnet. There we go. I got August and the top things done in the blue one, and I think I did the first row of the bottom section, something like that. Tuesday I thought, right, I'm going to get this one knocked out. Nothing on, no plans. I think I got kind of that first banner done. One of those evenings, I spent half of the evening either texting my mum or on the internet, because my mum started her Christmas shopping and basically kept asking me questions about things and what she should get and whether it was a good idea and would the children like that. And then there was what do you buy a 12-year-old who's refusing to give you a list, and hey, it kind of just went on like that. So I abandoned my stitching and went to bed. But cracked on with it last night and got that finished and made a little start on, can't get it to show, made a little start on, is that in focus? I can't tell. Little start on September. So as you can see, it's all been done in variegated floss. Everything except for, no, that's not true now. There are various anchor ones, so anchor, I have to be careful how I say this. Those 3 are anchor ones, as is that one. This, I think, is a DMC. The reason why I wrote down, when I first planned this last year, I sorry, wrote down all the flosses I was going to use. I kind of sort of did a floss toss, kind of just to work it out. But when I started stitching it on Monday, discovered that the yellow, thinking sand, that I picked out had an awful lot of cream in it as well. And basically the first row of stitches almost invisible, so I ripped that out and had a quick rummage through the stash and came up with the blue. Now, unfortunately, the blue didn't have any label on. It was just in my box like that. It's either an anchor or a DMC. It's one or the other. So I've had a quick look at so-and-so this morning. I can't see an anchor one like that, but they do seem to have discontinued a few colours, so maybe. But there is a couple of blues in DMC 4022 and 93 that could be possibly it. So but September is going to be stitched in this lovely dragon floss from Pole Stitches, and this is called Dreaming Dragons. So I'm trying to kind of match to the month a little bit, unless it's just the one I really like and I've just gone with it like in June because it's just pretty. January I kind of went a bit snowflakey, kind of pale colours. So some of them have quite clear month. Oh, what's the word? Motifs. There we go. So like the March has shamrock kind of design. So I decided I needed to go with the green there. So that's a DMC one. And the others were just kind of ones that I picked that I quite liked. So we've got left. So that's going to be October. That is an anchor one. That's Flame, which is 1315. December is going to be this one, which is called Harlequin, and it's 1375. Those are both anchor ones, and December will be in this colorist one from DMC, which is 4520, I think. Can't read backwards. There we go. So that's my plan. So my plan is to finish off this week and get September and October done, and then put that away. Keep my friend. The threads for this one have all been kept in this little tin. So tapping. Right then. So I've been taking part in Santa Sundays on Instagram. So it's Santa Sunday XS, and it's been a really good motivator for me. I worked on my Christmas houses for a couple of weeks, and I'll get to those in a minute. And then I pulled out the kind of that one whip that's always kind of gets pushed back, bane of your life, kind of never going to finish this, but still really quite like the design, just struggling with motivation. So that's my Plum Street Samplers 12 Streets of Christmas, 12 Days of Christmas. It is a lovely design. This is stitched over 1 on 25 count. It's just a scrap of Magic Guide, actually. So I did get. Let's pull that back a bit. I did get 10 Lords of Leaping done Sunday before last, and then I got the house done on day 11. Well, most of the house done. I think I had the bottom bricks stitched there and a bit up the side, but then I got the rest of that done on day 11. Day 11's quite intensely stitched, so the plan is Santa Sundays in October for that. The 12th day is quite easy. I think I'm kind of one of these weird people that likes to know the stitch count. So I have worked out my stitch count, and I think I've got about 1,500 left. Yeah, each of my charts. Let's pull this one. I don't want to show you. each of my charts has little post-it notes on with what I've got left to stitch, what the breakdown is. It's just it's kind of a motivation thing for me. I know some people hate knowing stitch counts because it kind of seems a bit overwhelming, or they just don't want to know. But I'm very much I'm motivated by knowing how much I've got. So that's that. So what we've got 3 Sundays left in October. So I'm should be well on track to get that done. So it's really exciting. And then I'm going to channel my inner Priscilla to get that finished. I've got an idea. I'm just kind of starting to look out for the right materials. Right. My third whip this month has been Just Nan Spring Frills. I found a floss ring in my stash, and it's all very pretty like that, isn't it? Don't normally use them, but as you can see, the rest of it's not quite so pretty. But anyway, so this was a blog giveaway prize many years ago, and that's what it is. It's a little humbug. It's very pretty. It has pansies on it. So when I showed it you in my first video, basically I had some of the green done and the pansies in the middle, and this is where we're at now. Really pleased with how I'm going. So there's little tiny bits of backstitch to be let's bring it a bit closer so you can have a closer look. There's bits of backstitch to be done on the pansies and on the pink flowers, but it is kind of just like the odd line in a corner kind of thing. It's not fully backstitched. And then I've got a little there's some words to put in there which say spring returns in fancy dress. So those go in that little gap between the 2 sections. So then this one here is just the repeat of that one. So it's yeah, I'm loving this. Oh, and then there are a whole load of pink and if it's going to focus, pink and white beads to go on. So and the border around the outside so I can sew it up. So there's actually still quite a bit of work to do, but that won't probably come out now till January, which seems such a long way, but it's not, is it? So that's that one. So FFOs. No, FFOs. I've not been that quick. I've not stitched up any more of the drawn thread ornaments. So I really hope to get those done. Well, I need to get those done for Christmas. So especially as I want to stitch a couple of the others. My mum and I, pretty much the whole of my adult life, have exchanged Christmas ornaments. We often go shopping together for Christmas presents and things like that. So we often, well, every year we buy new ornaments for the trees and exchange them. I generally give her 2 or 3 handmade ones. So yeah, she likes. She bought me some nutcrackers this week, 2 little nutcracker ones for the tree, which are my first ones of those. So we have very, very similar tastes as well. Funny story. She likes to plan. She's my mum's quite impaired mobility wise now, and she likes to plan Christmas early, like shopping wise, so she knows that she can go and do little bits and have enough time to get everything in. So she was asking in the last couple of weeks for Christmas lists. Our Christmas lists are identical. We asked for the same 3 things. So yeah, we don't do massive presents. So mine was slippers, pyjamas and underwear. My mum said, oh yes, that sounds like a good idea, and they will be from the same place, and good old Marks and Spencer's, and yeah, so I am turning into my mother, but that's fine. She's a strong woman, so I quite look up to her. Oh, anyway, so ornaments, Christmas ornaments. I really want to get them sewn up because I'd quite like to make her 2 or 3. Sorry, lots of text messages coming down on my phone. I'd like to make her a couple of the ones that I've made for our tree this year. Back onto my FFOs. Oh, wow, that was a segue. So, bet you can't guess what this is going to be. Yep, it's going to be another one of my little scissor fobs. And it's a little pansy with some beads in the middle. And I'm hoping to be able to send this to a fellow Flosstuber who quite likes pansies. Bet you can't guess who that is. So, but I just need to make contact and get her address. Next FFO, I did finish my Christmas houses from Plum Street, that were a freebie from Cross Stitch magazine a couple of years ago. So they are there. They're not FFO. They are just like this, so I can demonstrate. So there's lots of little beads on. I used some little, where is it? Yeah, some little delicate petite beads for the snowman, because it was supposed to be red French knots, and that's just weird. And just put some little gold ones on the Christmas tree because they were supposed to be red French knots. No. And rather than doing the little odd cross stitches here, there and everywhere for snow, I got out some seed beads, and those are left over from one of my Mill Hill kits. So when I showed you last week, I'd done them. Those two were done, except for the smoky swirl, except for the smoke and the back stitch. So I basically worked on that one. Only one of the trees had snow on, but they were all the same tree. So I don't know whether it was a charting error, but I decided that actually all the trees should at least look the same. Because if it's snowing in all of them, yep, the trees haven't got snow on. It looks a bit weird. So they've all had snow. I haven't decided, but I kind of feel that the little wreath just there ought to have a bit of bling on it, so I might put a couple of little seed beads or something on it. But I'm going to channel my inner Priscilla. So as I said, Mum and I go shopping, and at a well-known British discount retailer where everything costs the same, I picked up this little sign. It's got a glue mark there, but I plan to bow something, I don't know yet. So this is my plan. I'm not going to hang it upside down. So this is the plan to do that with that. And then I picked up that, and I thought, I can't get it all in, but there we go. So it's got some nice bells on. It's a cheap one, but that's my plan, is to maybe add a couple of bits to that as well, and FFO it in kind of very similar to how Priscilla has FFO'd some of her Halloween designs in the sort of hanging thing. So need to get on with doing that. So I'm pleased how that's. I like my vision for that one. Right, where are we at? I have done that. I haven't written my notes as well this week. Last week they were very this and this and this and this and this, and now this week they're not. They're all over the place. Let's do a little bit of the stashquisitions. I don't know where my Just Land project's gone. Put those away before I wonder where 15 bobbins of DMC have gone. Okay, so I've had my September Jodyri stuff. I'm so behind with it. My own fault, I haven't paid the invoice, so I really must get on with that. So we have my flosses of the month. These are, they just have such good names. Smoke and Mirrors, Arctic Splash, Princess Kari. I'm sure somebody can tell me who Princess Kari is. I could Google, I suppose. Summer Sunset, that's pretty. And Purple Planets. I also got my 2 limited edition ones, which are Feldspar. Like those. Love the green and the purple. It's always a good kind of colour combination for me. And my piece of 28 count Brittany, 13 by 18 piece. And we're going to go that way. So there's that. I'm not going to say I'm disappointed in it, because I'm not, because it's a lovely fabric. I just, having seen the coordinating thread, would have been nice with a bit of green, but that's just my green thing. I kind of love green, so I do tend to go for that. So, what else? I've been making some needle minders. I've been waiting for months for magnets to turn up, because the first lot didn't arrive, and then so I had to order some more. And these are all charms and flatback cabochon, I don't know how you say that word, a couple of buttons that I've accumulated over the years and never known quite what to do with. So, all on my paper chase postcard. So there's quite a few there. I've cut most of the hanging loops off them, just to give them a slightly neater finish, but yeah. That one is just a little pebble, kind of plectrum shaped, that I picked up off a beach somewhere, and I just love a little green stripe that runs through it, and it's so flat and smooth, it's lovely. So those are they. That is made with friendly plastic, just set into a jewellery mounty thing. So I'm pleased with all of those. That I've kind of wondered what to do with for ages, so that's good. I've had my magazines. So cross stitcher this month, I'm going to do a very, very quick flip through of them. So this is cross stitcher. This came Monday, so I don't even think it's in the shops yet. So that's the front, that's the back. You can see some of the designs. Came with this kind of Santery kit thing with some, it's got the finishing fabric and gloss in it. I'm not sure whether it'll get done. It's quite a nice design actually. It's quite black worky. It's not a huge amount of stitching, so it's one of the famous last words kind of thing. I'll just show you some of the. I won't show you everything, but that's the in contents. I'm not going to go that far. Let's go with. Right, so it's a Jodyri Jones one, Christmas snow globe. Wouldn't want to stitch all that bluey green in the back. No way. But it's not kind of my thing really, so that's fine. That's quite sweet. But I've noticed there's a lot of pink this year. I don't know whether pink's the trendy in Christmas colour this year, but I'm really not a pink person, so that just won't be happening. Unless I change the colour, maybe do it on a different background and then with a white dove. I get why, if they've done it on white fabric, they've done a white dove, but... Okay, we've got driving home for Christmas. Again, what's with the pink? No. There's some Maria Diaz design. Now this one I do like, and I think it's going to go 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, so I think this one is very likely to be one of my main Christmas stitches next year. It's a very Lizzie Kate kind of style one. And I've written down who the designer is, and I'll have to look in a second. Yeah, so I really like that. It is designed by Faye Walsh of Little Dove Designs, so I do like that. I kind of feel, I'm thinking ice blue, sparkly, something or other. The threads are all DMC because it's British magazines, we don't do fancy floss. So minimal back stitching always appeals to me. No fractionals, yay. It's 253 by 53 stitches wide, high, big. So, and the last design that really appeals to me is this Bethlehem scene, and I really like the kind of I love the colours, but I like the black work kind of bit at the bottom. It's got French knots in. I really don't like French knots, so I expect they will get subbed out for some beads because it's Christmas and we need our bling. So there we go. So I really do like that. there's some other designs. There's a bauble advent calendar you can make, which is that one. So waste canvas on felt. The Last in the House series and a gingerbready thing. I really want to stitch a little gingerbread house, but I haven't found one that's small enough to make into an ornament. They're all a bit kind of... The ornaments would end up being kind of that postcard size, and that's just a bit too big for an ornament in my book. So Woks came as well. Really going off this magazine. It's kind of... I've been through it, and there's not one thing in there that I would say, yeah, I want to stitch that. And it's getting quite disappointing, really. But every time I go to cancel my subs, the next month I go, oh, I want to stitch that. So, rock and a hard place. I do like reading them, though. I know some people are like, oh, I don't read the articles, but I do like reading them. I find them I don't buy any other magazines other than Cross Stitch magazine, so I do like reading the articles, and I'll do the crossword. I'm not very good at them, I do the crossword. Anyway, it came with their standard this time of year chart booklet. No black quirt this year, so that's thoroughly disappointing, to be honest. Freebie Madeira metallics. Nice to have a green. I don't think I've had a green for a while. It's been like purple and silver, or blue and silver, red and silver, red and gold. So for the last 3 or 4 years, I quite like the Noel in here, of which I can't show you because it's come. I quite like that. So but it has got a full alphabet, so that's a maybe. It's a maybe. But there's usually a black work section in these little books, and there isn't this year, so I was a little bit kind of like, yeah. Right. I've been busy flipping through. So, there isn't really... Okay, so there's the contents page. We're going to go... So, let's have a quick look. I'll skip over the article. Got Margaret Sherry Mice on a Christmas tree. Nope. Right, what's next? We've got Biscornu. Is it Fabi Riley? They're nice. I like their designs. I've stitched her stuff before, but they're massive. Now, you've seen I like my Biscornu. I have done big Biscornu, but these are like 55 by 55, so they kind of come out like that. And I like little 30 to 40 square stitch count is what is my preference. So, but there is a nice holly one, and I'm going to show you. I do like the holly one, but I don't like the white flower. So I don't know. I haven't decided. There's no fractionals. They are quite easy to stitch. Lots of sequins and beads and stuff. So, but there is a red poinsettia on the mistletoe one. So maybe I chop and change. Maybe I just don't do them at all. Who knows? Christmas Pud. And that's by Doreen Jones. She's been busy lately. Wild Stag, Amanda Gregory. Not my thing. Lucy Heaton Design Library Festive Treats. Gingerbread Lighthouse. Shannon Wazalef. No, I don't know how to say her name. Okay, where are we going? Kind of. Oh, okay. There's my shop. Little Christmas cards, Jenny Barton. Considering they don't look like there's much of a colour palette, there's a lot of threads. There's like 15 different colours in those. Where are we at? Oh. Can't turn the page. I don't know if there's another picture. The Holly ABC. and with numbers. No, there isn't, so that's what you get. It's that kind of, so it's one of these mix and match, do what you need to do by Lisa Reeks. And finally, little Christmas cards, religious Christmas cards. So I do quite like the Bethlehem one though, and the Three Kings, but I think there was a better set in the previous magazine, so I will probably not stitch those either. So that's cross stitcher for you. That's World of Cross Stitch for you. I think Crazy came last time. I think I showed that last time. I won a competition. Well, I won a giveaway. There's nothing particularly taxing about it. So I was the weekend winner for Cross Stitch Crazy last week. So yeah, you go me. Just for me. Little note from Crazy. Exciting. Threads. Whole bunch of anchor threads. At least they're branded, because quite often they do give away the cheap and nasties. So I don't always enter. If it's just like stuff from previous cover kits from magazines, I'm like, eh. So I tend to go if there's a decent amount of decent fabric or some decent threads in it. So they're anchor ones. Some nice colours there. I do make a lot of Christmas felties. I made 70 odd last year. Probably will use these rather than raiding my DMC stash. Came with some Ada as well. So I have 2 pieces of this one. This is quite pretty actually. So I don't know what I'll stitch on it, but I will, because I'll find something. Orange. This is very orange. It's huge. It's a very odd shape of fabric. So I suspect it is an offcut of something they've sent to a model stitcher. And then I got one a chart, which is by Waxing Moon, and it's called Witching Hour. Quite an old chart, but it's all in weeks. Not so much of the, I don't, about the, what do you call it, saying on it, but I do like those little pumpkins and the little vine around them, so I might kind of just cut it, oh, my hands all over the place, I might kind of just do it to their sort of thing, maybe just put fall or autumn or something in it, and then pass the stash. So that chart will be at some point winging its way to somebody at some point at some time. So that is all my stashquisitions. It's a lot for me this month. Right, so we have done plans. Okie dokie. So next due to speak to you all. I'm going for fortnightly videos. It suits me. I don't stitch enough I don't think to do weeklies, and a month would be just too long. So plans for the next fortnight are finish 12 days. So I think my next due, I have my dates. I have the next Flosstube planned out. 26th of October. Oh, it may be almost finished. We'll see. So finish 12 days. Catch up with September and October. Next week I'm going to go. Next week it's a new start. Next week a new start. So in Stitch Mania it is Tour de Designers. This month is All Little Stitches. Hot Fuzz. Love that movie, one of my favourite movies. So I will be stitching those this next week, and when they are done, I will then swap back to my cityscape, because I noticed a mistake in that this morning, so that's going to have to come out. Where I've gone over two crosses. The top arm's gone over 2 rather than 1, so it's a quick fix. But nevertheless, I'm going to have to do that. So, what else have I been? Okay, so I've got to I'm going to kit that up later. It's going to be just done on this fabric, which, okay, that looks brown. It's kind of an olivey green. It almost, well, it's not so much as my jumper, but it doesn't. I don't know if I can... No, can't get the colour, but it's kind of an olivey green, not all marbly kind of effects one, so that's going to be done. As Plum Street is heading towards a finish, I'm going to also kit up something out of this little chart booklet which came out of Cross Stitcher last year. So, as I said earlier, I was a little bit disappointed by the lack of black work. That's funny. Quite like that. Don't fancy stitching best part of 800 stitches in one colour though, in blocks. Doesn't appeal to me. Pink again. What's with the pink? Ugh. Right, that's what I want to stitch. It's black work, it's houses, it's me. So that's going to be kitted up. I don't know. It's 321 and 699. So that'll be done. Might bling it up a bit with some French, oh, that's French knots. That's probably going to be beads, and probably gold ones at that. So, yeah, I'll probably chuck in some gold seed beads. Maybe the red on the wreath might become red seed beads, and the candles in the window may have a gold bead for a flame. So it's Christmas, it gets beads, so that'll be kitted up later. Not that that'll take me long, but I don't know if I've got any white fabric and can't decide what other colour to do it on. So that is going to be a November start, because on my blog it's No X November. So I've got my Blackwork Lady and I've got and that'll be my Santa Sundays. Right, 37 minutes. This is going to be the longest video yet. I blame the stashquisitions. I don't like call either. Stashquisitions. So it's me thinking, oh, it's only going to be my Jodyri stuff. But no. I'm going to show you. As I've been doing the Jodyri, I bought myself a little box. My husband spotted it in another local discount shop. I stuck a postcard. I've got the washi tape out. Never used this stuff before, but I bought it ages ago. So and thought, oh, I'm going to make this a bit prettier. It's just a plain green box, and my paper chase postcard of cactuses, which is awesome. So found some cardboard, made a bit of a divider for it, and put them in there. So. And they're all in individual bags now. So I did that. That was a little project this week, because you're going to have a little project. I don't know where to keep the thing, so it lives by my chair. But hey ho. Right, so I've told you my plans. I think the last thing to show you is a couple of my favourite finishes. And I framed one, I know. Who'd have thunk it? Black work. Talked about it an awful lot. Actual proof that I do it, not just kit stuff up and pretend that I'm going to do it, or knock out a bit off the screen. So we have got I'm just going to hold it sideways. A black work bell pull that was actually a round robin. So I stitched the top one, all of the little borders in between, and the bottom one. I can even tell you, I know, so this one was from the Anchor Book of Black Work, as was that one. That one is a Mary Hickmott design. That one's got a nasty yellow mark on it, and I don't know why. But I don't know where that design came from. So, and that's the other Mary Hickmott one, which went with the third one down. Freebie hanger from World of Cross Stitching or something like that. This is one that I completed earlier this year. It's one of those that's been knocking about. I'm just flicking through I have my stitching journal here. Who doesn't love the Mr. Man? I've got a postcard and I'm going to stick it on the front of something plain. I'm just looking to see when I actually, because this was one of my 17 and 17 for this year. That was one of the whips that I came in with at the start of the year. I only started the year with 7 whips, would you believe? 7. One got UFO'd. I ain't got time for that no more. It was just a freebie card from one of the magazines of a cute bunny, which I'd intended to do for a birthday present and didn't have time. And then kind of went, I don't really like this card. I was only doing it because it happened to be there, and I thought, wouldn't it be cute to make this little girl a birthday card? Cold coffee. And 12 Days is the only one now that hasn't been done this year. That is my list of starts and finishes this year, which goes on to at page 2. And I also have Pansy, so I need to add in the Palco lap one. Right, so when's I going to get the book out? Yeah, August. I didn't think I finished it that long ago. So yeah, this was a little August finish. This is a freebie design from King Cavill Crosses. There's some little tiny beads on all of them, just to kind of give it a bit of bling. Just stitched on an Ada band with a little green border because green's my favourite colour. Finished very simply with another little hanger. Not sure whether these came from the craft department or whether this one was one that was a freebie from a magazine. Because I just, if they come with them, I tend to just put them in my box and use them as and when. I do like doing bell pulls. So, on to the theme of Blackwork samplers. There we go. There's this one, and I should have looked it up, and I haven't. So, and all you can see is my big orange mug reflecting in it. Right, so, oh, there we go. This is a World of Cross Stitch design. I'm going to go for World of Cross Stitch. I completed it a couple of years ago, but only framed it this year. But I haven't managed to get it on the wall yet. So, yeah, it's got some little gold bits at the top. Gold bits. Oh, beads in this one. No. Yeah, so lots of black work. Some couching along here. The frame's very dusty. Bargain frame. McKenna, you would be proud of me for this one. This was in, I guess you call them thrift stores, we call them charity shops probably, and cost me £1.99 with the mount, which fitted perfectly. So there's a couple of little marks on the frame, but hey, it works perfectly well for me. And the mount was a proper cut. It had on the back, so it's a good frame. On the back had a seaside seashell kind of thing. I mean, I love my downstairs cloakroom is seaside themed, but it was never going to go in there. But it actually had a proper gallery framing place label on it as well. So the mount's been cut, even though it's just a plain white mount, the mount's been cut really nicely. And I guess the frame came from there as well. So not going to argue that for £2. Yep, so I love this piece. This is probably one of my favourite ever finishes. Definitely my favourite blackwork one, so love this. I love that it's kind of, oh yeah, there's some eyelets in it, and there were speciality stitches. There's some eyelets, there are some Smyrnas, there's some couching, bits of cross stitch, more couching, bigger eyelets. Don't know what the technical term for them. I think they're like long arm Smyrnas or something, where you have kind of like this one bit smaller and longer. I don't know, like I'm signalling traffic or something there. Is it herringbone? I think that one's herringbone. Oh, not the top of the table. So and it's sort of showing it like it's just cross. Or that's long arm cross stitch or something. I forget. I should have brought the magazine down rather than just picking up the thing. I can find it out. So I don't know who the designer is either. I should have looked that up too. Epic fail on that one. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna have to go and start this essay or finish this essay. Can't put it off any longer. Managed to get through this on my first take, and I'm not going to re-record it like last week where I did about 5 takes, and nope, not happening. So I'm going to clear my dining table of all the stuff and get this upload. Well, I won't. I will wait till my husband comes home because he does the uploading and the faffing for me. So happy stitching, friends. Have a good fortnight, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye bye.